Hello, it is me, Karina, and welcome to my live stream. I apologize in advance if the internet is a little bit choppy. I'm not going to be doing any screen shares today for that matter because it feels like the internet's choppy, so it's going to slow things down. But there are very important things that I wanted to talk about. As you can notice by the title of this video, it is what to do now, how to move forward. We're going to discuss a few topics in regards to, in light of everything that's happening right now with Amazon. So the first thing, I haven't done a live stream in quite some time. I look back in the archives and it's been a minute, a few months actually. It's been a while. But I'm back. I like these a lot just because they're live, and especially in this time, no one's really getting that much human interaction, so it's good to communicate, right? So the things I want to talk about today is really the update that's going on with Amazon FBA, how to continue your business through everything that's happening today. We're just going to discuss some factors. Also, we're going to talk about a few other alternative product research methods. If you're feeling a little bit stuck, as I know some might be, that tends to be one of my largest questions, is about product research. So I want to clear the water. I want to give you all a few other suggestions to continue. So I'm going to list them off for you as well, just so you can have more experimentation, so you don't feel stuck and kind of stagnant and like you're not progressing in your business. So first and foremost, let's talk about the update. There's a lot of panic with Amazon FBA. People think that it's no longer a viable business model. That's probably half of the population that's interested in Amazon. The other 50% actually is taking more action and seeing this as an opportunity for something new. Due to all these crashes and the tremendously high filings for unemployment rate, people really are looking for another side opportunity, not necessarily to even have a full-time income, although that's nice, but just something to make you feel confident that you have some money coming in despite the fact that everything's shut down. I know for me personally, my sales have not stopped. I don't know. This is why doing something niche is very interesting. Some categories, of course, suffer, others don't, but that is why it's important to think of long term and to think of differentiation across your Amazon account, so you can have other brands in different categories that maybe are thriving, not necessarily being seasonal, but thriving during one period of time, and then maybe they're a little bit lower on a different time, but then your other brand compensates and thrives for that. So let's talk about, should you be getting into these hot topic items that are happening right now, like toilet paper or health and household, pretty much mostly. Capitalizing on these trends, people try to source masks, things like that. It's really not necessary. Don't try to source these. It's going to be a spike, which is what's happening now, and it's going to crash. You might get stuck with units. You might get your account suspended. People have been engaging in price gouging, which means, say a normal mask is $3, they're selling it for $15, something unreasonable and crazy because they know the demand is there. That's really not ethical, as it's not fair to the consumer, and on top of that is very short-lived, and on a business side, you're putting yourself at a very high risk for potentially getting suspended. So that's not something you want either. You don't want to get suspended on Amazon because of something like that. Your whole account might get suspended, your listing might get suppressed. It's just too risky. And the thing is, it's not long-term thinking. You really want to be going in for brands or potential future brands that will last after this situation, that will last through another situation like this, because people are still shopping. So I do encourage you to continue doing your product research as you would. Keep in mind that shipments have been delayed right now, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit in case you're not aware, with a little bit more details about which categories you're still allowed to ship out, which are not, how long this is going to happen for, things like that. But honestly, the model hasn't really changed, and I really would encourage you to continue researching as you would in the future, right? This is going to pass. It's important for you to have a long-term thinking and to want to continue building your brand. So what is happening with all of this shipping situation, right? So an article came out, and I'm very updated on this in my Facebook group. You can type in the Amazon FBA Private Label Club. It's also linked down below. That's my Facebook group. Just request to join it. I will accept you. I pretty much post updates every time there is one about Amazon. So anything in regards to shipping, freights, category restrictions. Actually, the other day I saved somebody a hack. I told them something that he paid already thousands of dollars to get the process started, and he said, I wish I knew this earlier. So benefits of being in my Facebook group, the Private Label Club Facebook group. Join it, link down below. So basically, with the categories, shipments have been delayed until April 5th. So products coming in from China to the United States have been stopped. You cannot create any shipping labels essentially to send to your supplier until April 5th. Now, is that going to be solid? Is it really going to be until April 5th? I don't know. It's possible that they prolong it. Amazon is completely swamped right now. So as difficult as it may seem for your business, we do have to remember that people are in crisis mode and these goods are more essential to them. So thinking for the kind of overall being of the whole civilization, it's probably good that they're doing this, just because people are working overtime, they're swamped at the warehouses. So they're really prioritizing things that will benefit people the most, which are these specific categories. Hopefully it will be lifted by the 5th of April so that everyone has time to catch up and you can start listing all of your other products, because truth is, people are still shopping online. They're still purchasing things. Some categories are suffering, others are not, but it's still good to obviously list your products and get them shipped. It's especially if it's your way of to sustain your income. That's not good, right? So hopefully by April 5th, they'll be caught up. So here are the categories that are still allowed to be shipped in. Thankfully, I'm in a few of these. So I actually shipped in, I believe I restocked 2 of my units, and then I created a new shipping label for another product, and I was allowed to do that because I'm in these categories. So here are the ones that you're allowed to. So if you're in any of these, or if you source the product from any of these, you're in the clear. You can still create shipping labels and be fine. So baby products, health and household, beauty and personal care, grocery, industrial and scientific, and pet supplies. So again, that is baby, health and household, beauty/personal care, industrial and scientific, and pet supply. So basically just 5 categories, which are pretty big categories. Actually, there's a lot of products in these, and this is actually a good foreshadowing. These seem to be the top categories that Amazon focuses on when it comes into even the most crucial times. So maybe in the future, hopefully not, something like this ever happens. If you're in these, you won't be limited, right? So this doesn't necessarily mean you have to do your product research in just these categories, because you're limiting yourself to many categories if you just go under these 5, and that's not really necessary. Things will get back to normal. Amazon will catch up. People are still shopping for other things. So just know that long-term thinking and including your lead time, which when your supplier actually gets your products put together, things like that, and to get them shipped out, maybe this will be all resolved, right? Because if your lead time is a month or even 3 weeks, hopefully this will all be resolved by then, right? So what else do I want to talk about? All right, update with the factories. I actually reached out to a few of my suppliers in China to see things from their perspective. Again, I share all this in my Facebook group. So the first thing is factories are back in operation. Things are producing. The problem is the freight cost. So shipping is quite expensive now, because a lot of flights have been canceled or postponed or delayed, so to ship your goods actually is way more expensive. So freight is very fluid. The prices, they're very fluid, they're very dynamic, they keep changing, and they're actually higher now, which is a little bit cutting into your margins. But again, remember, this is not for forever. It's just something to be aware of, that right now they are inflated and they keep changing on the daily. That's what I was informed of from my factory. So keep that in mind. So keep doing everything. Just hopefully your margins later will be higher if you factor in the freight costs. Let's talk about product research now. Product research, very important, very critical. you should still be doing your product research. That's the first thing. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to ask you some questions and then suggest some other methods that you could potentially try in product research. I'm always scared that this live doesn't work. Let me just double check, because from my end right here, I can see it to a degree, but if I stream this entire thing and nothing loads, not be the most ideal thing. And how I check it is literally on my phone by going to my account. I do think I'm going to be doing these live streams more frequently because I really do enjoy them. I get to interact with everybody and kind of see it. Let me just go here. Checking it out. Okay, so it's all good. So let's continue with the product research and everything like that. So the first thing with product research is, are you actually analyzing the markets or are you just looking at one product? It's very important to analyze the entire market for the product. So just because one product is selling well doesn't mean everything else is selling well. So you want to make sure that the whole market is stable, that everyone has similar reviews, things like that. So when you weasel your way into the market, you're actually going to do well, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is, check for market stability. Check that pretty much maybe at least most of the sellers on the first page are having good revenue, that it's not one seller, right? Check also for profitability. Do you have enough room for margin there to actually reorder inventory, not to run into cash flow issues, enough money to spend on PPC and to actually put back in your pocket? And then think about ranking. How are you going to rank to the first page of Amazon? The thing is, your rank is dependent on the amount of sales you get. So if everyone in your market are doing $100,000 of sales and you're not going to rank to the first page. So that's why I mentioned a lot of low risk is doing things and going after markets that are not necessarily the top markets of $100,000, because unless you want to spend, maybe you can rank, maybe you can use some services, but are you actually willing to invest $50,000 to potentially rank? Probably not. But the way I like to teach things is low risk, right? Low risk. And again, this video is not going to be all about that. If you want more information on exactly how to do this low risk, I have a free training. It's 4 days long. You can see many videos. It's a few hours long at theplclub.com/training. I'll link it down below. And to all my students that are either in my course or in my monthly club, it's called the Private Label Club, you do know exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to join, it's theplclub.com. That's where the club is, and we have a lot of features on there. It's really fun and awesome. So that's you'll know exactly how to do things low risk there. But let's talk about different product research methods. If you feel stagnant on one of them, maybe you've been doing one for a long time and you're not seeing any improvements or anything, it's probably time to try a different method. There's no trick to product research. There isn't something that you kind of do, and then hold on a second. Sorry, if I'm distracted, I'm just trying to make sure. Since I haven't done streaming for this long, I'm not exactly 100% sure how to know that it's 100% working. So I'm just gonna double check this. Okay. 1 second. Okay, back to business. So I was saying about the different product research. If you feel stagnant in one of them, then do move on and try different things. There isn't a trick or a secret kind of method on how to do it, and you won't find any benefits by doing some kind of hack. It's more exploring the different ones and making sure that it's actually giving you results, right? So some ideas, I have 6 that you can try here. I'm not gonna go into all of these. All of these are in the PL Club. You can get that there, and in there, it's a product research vault, so you're going to be able to actually see all of these different methods, and a new one comes out all the time. So let's go through a few of them to give you more food for thought so you can try it. There's the typical one that everyone knows of, putting in product research parameters, which is, opening up whatever software you're using and putting in a certain amount of revenue, a certain amount of reviews, price, things like that. That can actually show you a lot of products that other people are seeing as well. So that might not be the best method. It does yield good ones. Another one, you can try it again. If you're getting bored of it, really try something else. A different one is the keyword research method, which is basically filtering keywords from a very popular product and kind of going down and seeing if you can get more niche and find a product that is also kind of similar to that, but maybe less competitive. I love this one. I've made videos about this on my YouTube channel, also in my private label club. I really emphasize this, and I talk about this a lot. I just think it's a really powerful one, because that's how you really find these niche products. I spent like 40 minutes explaining this specific one in some of the videos, because there's a lot of big direction you can take with this one, right? The other one is, you can get to this next one, from pretty much any method, and that's going down the rabbit hole of products. So say you put in parameters, you find one product, then it's going to get you in deeper and deeper. Maybe you go into someone's storefront, maybe you find a related item, maybe something comes up on sponsored ads, and it's kind of a niche diving thing. But that is actually a good one too, because again, that minimizes your chance of finding products that a lot of other sellers are finding. That's often a really good one. Now, here are some other 3 ones that some people don't really talk too much about. One of them is actually finding products through Alibaba, which is obviously the manufacturing site. There's millions of products on there, and you can run extensions from that on your like Helium 10, that's the software I use, or anything. You can put them into Amazon, analyze the market. Sometimes you can find something. And if you already have a supplier that you source other products from, you can ask them, do you have any other products that are kind of hot and trending? And they'll send you a list. And then you can actually run that list, or not the list, but check the market for those products. I've actually had suppliers send me we have this new product, are you interested? And then I check all the statistics on it on Amazon, and it actually looks pretty good, and I end up ordering it. That's not always the case, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Actually, my suppliers reached out to me and said they have masks, and if I'm interested in buying some, because they're completely sold out in the United States right now. Like, not even on Amazon, you can't get them at a grocery store. So I'm like, maybe I should order them from the supplier or something, but that's an interesting way. And then another one is actually going to deal sites. So a lot of people try to get reviews for their products, or kind of ranking sites. It's a little gray area, because products on there, typically many other people are launching them, so you don't necessarily want to be one of the many that's doing that. But it will also help you if you use that. If you find a product on the deal site, maybe you go to the seller that's selling that product, look in their storefront, and potentially find other products in their store. Or maybe again, you can do the rabbit hole method and kind of deep dive down and see what other products can come across from this. And then the last way, this one might be a little bit atypical, and that's the international markets way. So everyone prefers to sell in Amazon US because it's the one with the most kind of sales, the highest demand. However, other markets are really good too, because something that's more competitive in the US can actually be a new rising market in, let's say, the UK or in Canada or in Germany. Actually, the United Kingdom and Germany right now are the most popular markets. And I would say Canada is also easy to enter just because there's not a language barrier. So Canada and United Kingdom do still have that demand depending on the product. So if you find something that's competitive in the US but looks interesting, I would try to cross-reference that in the other markets. So do the same thing you were doing, but go to amazon.co.uk or .ca, which is Canada. So that's gonna show you the market there. And if it looks good, low reviews, maybe you can actually be one of the people starting there. Just make sure it's actually selling well, not that it's to make sure that it's profitable. So that's an interesting way to try if you're looking for something that's profitable but maybe oversaturated in America. Either way, I just gave you 6 methods. Spend an hour on a few of these and see how it goes. See if you like it more, if you're getting more traction, because sometimes we just need to switch it up, and that's how we get better at product research. But do continue doing your product research in light of this entire situation. This business model is stronger than ever. The best thing is just to adapt to the circumstances and continue doing this, continue researching, continue moving forward, continue doing it in a low risk way, because that's what's really going to propel you forward, is knowing that you don't have to spend so much money, that you can take small calculated risks and still see a good return. And that's what I like teaching. I like teaching this business model low risk because I want to encourage more people to actually take action with this. And again, if you want more training, I have a training. It's completely free. theplclub.com/training. It's linked down below. A sequence of videos that you can watch to advance your Amazon FBA knowledge, and you'll get actionable steps from there. And other things, if you want to be a part of my club with pretty much weekly updates on everything, you'll know how to do product research really, really well if you're there. You can go to theplclub.com. And of course, I do have my program, my full course, that is found at INTOAMILLI.com. All the links are down below. I'm going to end this live stream right now because I just wanted to give you an update on everything that's going on. I have YouTube videos posting here like crazy, like they're going out of style. So you can always tune in. And then also, yeah, it was great seeing you all on here. I hope you are staying healthy and focused on your business. And I will see you in my next video and in my next streams.